What is going on, YouTube Nation? This is Darth Dividend. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Finished one midterm. I survived that one with a B. I tell you what, I like pathophysiology, anatomy, and doing this stuff, but that theory crap that you have to take with school, I'm just glad I'm over it. So if you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know I do stock and dividend analysis videos on stocks that I own or don't own, or stocks that I'm considering. A lot of you guys wanted me to do a stock and dividend analysis on Apple. This is a stock that I'm considering in the long run. I do not own Apple, but let's look into this stock and see what its capabilities are. What would you do with it? How it's done against the S&P? Let's get a little technical here. Let's look at a little bit of technical analysis and stock and dividend analysis with Apple stock, because this stock has split before. This is a really incredible stock. It's just because its dividend yield is very low, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is such a juggernaut. I mean, I wish I had money in it in the early 2000s and stuff. Well, I'll show you what I mean. But let's check this stock out right now. Okay, since inception, Apple has dominated the S&P. Now, if you look at the past 5 years, if you want to get a little technical, look at the way it's still in the past 5 years beat the S&P. Now, I don't want to try to go crazy and go all these numbers. All you have to do is look at the graph and see how it's done. And again, as I describe to people, the jaw, if you see the jaw, okay, that's a good sign, except the S&P is at the bottom, so it's killing the S&P. So that's an attractive stock to me. Another thing with Apple is, the stock split. Now, if you imagine, first of all, imagine if you had Apple. Oh my gosh, let's just go. When was Apple before it blew up? 2006. It was. Is this correct? $2.14, and then it blew up all the way to $129.87 a share. So if you were an investor and you put money in that real early, imagine how much money you'd be racking in. It's amazing how Apple has done as a company. It is a $1 trillion company. I have this in my hand. This stock is in demand. If you see, that's a Apple iPhone. They have completely destroyed the industry, and if somebody's good or starting to get equivalent to them, they just suck them up and just take over. I mean, it's incredible with the technology that they've done. And this is definitely a stock that I'm considering. This is a stock I call this a unicorn stock. One, it increases its dividend over time. Two, it splits. Imagine if you had 300 shares and it split, you would be a little euphoric riding on those Benjamins and then getting those dividends from Apple, which I'll discuss in the future in the next few minutes. But the beauty of this stock is if you're a dividend investor, if you have a Roth or traditional IRA, you can put it in all three. Okay, if you have a traditional, you can put Apple in a traditional, you can put Apple in a Roth. Dividend portfolio, you can do the same. This is a stock you just throw a ton of money in it, leave it alone, let the dividends reinvest. I would never sell Apple once for anything. This is what's exciting about the stock. It is stock that I have considered. I just threw money in for my Acorns account into my traditional IRA because I didn't want to take a 10% penalty from Acorns, so I just threw it in Fidelity. Apple is a stock, if I had a lot more money, I'd put it in right now. Now, the goal is if I can have my dividend stocks start buying people like this, I'm absolutely in, okay? The stock split happened. I see this splitting its stock in the future. It's just such a beautiful growth stock, and it distributes a dividend. So I invest in stocks that distribute dividends. I mean, this is a beautiful stock. I mean, destroying the S&P. I mean, there's no comparison. So you put this in your Roth or traditional IRA, your net asset value would increase. So right now with my M1 Finance dividend portfolio, I want to buy stocks so that I can start eventually buying stocks like this once I get a little bit more conservative. So I want to have like a total of aggressive stocks and some conservative stocks that I can throw in the future, just like Apple and these guys. I can almost guarantee you that's probably going to be in my dividend portfolio. Unless if I find something that I can't say no to, Apple is on my radar, and I plan on putting it uh, in my dividend portfolio. It takes a little bit of a dip. Now I'll get a little bit into the technical analysis. It takes a little bit of a dip, okay. Now I don't like to try to get too advanced. I know some people have YouTube channels that goes here, goes here. This is when you buy it. This is when you buy it. Look, it's gonna go down. The time to capitalize on the stock like this is when it takes a big hit, and then it goes. You just have to capitalize on stocks when they take a hit and you invest in it. I don't know why this says 60. It should be, the stock split or something. It was never down there. I think if it went down there, people would buy it like crazy. It went down to like 100 something. I think it was a 4-for-1. I see that eventually going back to 400 and then splitting. So that's one thing that you need to look into if you are going to buy Apple. I unfortunately, I was late on it. It kind of sucks, but I see these guys splitting again. They're just a trillion. I mean, can you imagine that trillion? Say that again, $1 trillion. Okay, that is incredible for that stock. Now I buy, stocks that try to yield a 3 to 5% usually that increase their dividends over time. These guys are going to increase their dividends over time, which I'm going to jump to their dividend history real quick. So I always go to Street Insider for like looking at dividend history and stuff. I mean, the dividend yield is not even 1%, but it grows. So one thing that you can capitalize on is if you put a ton of money into Apple, okay, or if you have a fractional share dividend portfolio and you have bonds or you have monthly dividend stocks and you can try to distribute that in Apple to increase your net asset value, that can help a lot. I've looked at some strategies with that, but really the dividend history is what's very attractive for the stock. Okay. Now, again, you have to, this is a stock that, in my honest opinion, I mean, I like the 3 to 5% range. It's going to go up. So usually stocks that have a very good, they have increased their price per share, like McCormick. You don't really see a high dividend percentage, but the dividend, it increases its dividend over time. McCormick is another really good dividend stock that has increased its dividend over time. So I don't know if you know who McCormick are. They're those guys that you go in the store and you use seasonings on stuff. I actually use McCormick all the time, like for chicken and meal prepping. If you want to be frugal and throw some money in the stock market, just buy chicken and McCormick seasoning and you'll be good. So that's one thing I really like about Apple and its dividend history, and it's going to increase its dividend. The yield's not like super exciting, but it increases its dividend over time. So the more you put in, obviously you put $10,000 in Apple and you just leave it alone, you're going to be rolling. Right now, especially when they split their stock. Now imagine if you had it, $10,000 in and then the stock split. I mean, that's really exciting. But I thought it was a very strategic move for younger people to invest in Apple and have the opportunity to invest in Apple. I think it's a fantastic stock. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys who are dividend gurus who have done much better than me with your dividend portfolios. You have Apple in there. And if you had Apple when the stock split, let me know. I mean, that's very exciting to hear your, basically the split and get more shares of Apple because it's just only going to increase its dividend, get bigger, stronger, and it's kind of like, like a strength and conditioning program where they say bigger, stronger, faster. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get stronger. It's a huge company. It has a pretty good reputation too. It's you know, it is a phenomenal stock, to be honest with you, and that's one that's on my radar. I don't have the money yet for Apple, but once my dividends start yielding, 1,000 a month on my, or 2,000 a month on my M1 Finance dividend portfolio, I'm going to add Apple in it because I want to get more dividends. I want to buy more shares like Apple, get the juggernaut going. I'm starting to get more ambitious. I get to $100,000 dividend portfolio. That's not enough. I don't. I want more. So Apple's going to be added to it. It's going to be in a little small section, my technology sector. I really like the way things are going, but I'm really setting the tone for my portfolio so I can add sections and sectors, and my other stocks can start getting bigger and bigger so that I can start buying more shares, and these can start buying other shares, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. It's the Death Star if you look at my previous videos. So do you like Apple? Is Apple a yes? Is Apple a no? You let me know. Thank you again for watching this video. Again, if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Best of all, you don't get charged. I do stock and dividend analysis videos. I am not a financial advisor. I give you my honest opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes. Again, everything's a risk. If you look at my videos previously with Rich Uncles and the bricks rate, I would encourage you to look at that. And that's a very good learning lesson to make sure that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Because if I did with Rich Uncles, I'd be in big trouble. But since I'm well diversified, I was prepared for if something happened or the doomsday scenario. So you guys take care. Have a great Saturday and have a good one.